Hi, and welcome to another episode of No Answers Yet. We are back, even though to you...
We never left.
We never left,
Yeah.
because we're just reliable.
We are. We're always there for you. We're like your pillow at night. You know,
I'm
you
just
can
that
always
good.
put your head on us. And
That's what it comes down to.
I was talking.
What you're
That was-
saying
that was
is
kinda-
not important. I'm just that good.
What he's saying is also weird.
Why
But
is that
I like what you said
weird?
more.
Why is that weird? Like a pillow's reliable.
Okay,
Like it's
so-
always there for you. Like, why is that
My
bad?
name's Trey, and I'm one of your hosts.
And you already know who this guy is. It's the weird.
Yeah, so
Kiko
we have
Fresh.
no reason to say his name.
Well, I'm gonna
And-
say it anyways. Okay.
And then behind the camera, as always, we have Tyler England on the knobs. Say hello, Tyler. And hopefully that your mic is actually turned up, even though we just heard you, and it was pretty...
Pretty intense.
yeah, pretty...
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh.
Wow, that's that butter toasted pecan
What
voice.
butter toasted muffin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when my mom called you that? That was weird.
That was
But it was
awesome.
also
Where did he just get the pecan?
apt.
I just added a pecan.
You say pecan?
Yeah, pecan.
I think I say pecan, but I also hate them, so I don't really say it very often, unless I'm saying I hate pecans.
Sorry to hear about that.
And then Terry.
Yay!
We've missed Terry. Terry did not do anything these past 3 weeks.
Nah, he's
but what did
just-
we do? What did you guys do?
I worked.
I didn't
Worked.
do
I also
much.
worked. You traveled, though, which is the theme of this
Yeah.
episode. Like that segue? That was really good.
Yeah, I was like,
That was amazing.
I know.
So
Just like
smart.
you.
It's like I've been doing this for 6 months. How long have we been doing this?
Episode 19. now?
Oh, 19. Whoa.
dude,
We're
next
almost
week's gonna be 20.
20.
We'll
We
get a
should do
cake or
something special.
Yeah.
Like new high school couplers that celebrate their weeks.
Yeah. So
So, anyways, tell us about your trip.
yeah, man.
You went to Alaska for 3
Yeah.
months.
It was Alaska for a week.
Oh,
Well,
it just felt like 3
roughly.
months.
yeah, I did.
So I mean, I flew to Seattle.
Uh-huh.
Was
How was
there
that, by the
for
way?
a night? So that in the beginning was whatever. We just we went bowling and we just walked around a little bit
Sounds like fun.
because we just had a
It's
few
called
hours
bowling,
to kill.
whatever. Jesus. That's
And then
that's one of my
we
favorite
woke up
things.
in the morning, went on the cruise ship Saturday morning.
I'm glad you woke up.
Let him finish.
I'm talking.
Sorry.
Remember when you got mad at me in the beginning of this episode?
Sorry.
Yeah, all of like a minute ago.
They're fighting.
Anyways,
I'm uncomfortable.
yeah, you're always uncomfortable. Anyways, we got on the cruise ship, and then we set sail.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was a 7-day cruise. We went to 3 different stops in Alaska, 1 stop in Canada. Came back, then I was in Seattle for another 2 days.
Did you have to have your passport?
Yes.
Okay.
I needed it, but they didn't actually look at it.
Interesting.
In so got off the ship in Canada. You just walk right off the boat. They don't say anything to you. Came right back through. The only thing they looked for was our cruise ship key cards. That was it.
So it's
The
more
cruise
important
line,
that you're
yeah.
part of the cruise
Yeah.
than.
Well, the cruise line checks your passport as soon as you get
Oh, okay.
there.
So it's kind of like
So
being
they
ID'd
take
at a
it-
bar.
They scan your passport picture, and it's associated to your key card.
Mhm.
So whenever
Oh.
you leave the ship, they scan your card. Whenever you get back on the ship, they scan your card.
Okay. That makes sense.
But the Canadian security was nothing. They just wanted to look at the card, see that you had the card. And
Oh,
then-
just physically see the card?
yeah,
So you could have like 3D printed a card?
yeah.
That's amazing.
Getting back into the U.S. though, they did check passports at that point.
Uh-huh.
Again, once you
Because
got
you're
off the
coming into a
ship.
new country.
Exactly. Well, because we're getting back into the U.S., they care. I guess Canada doesn't care who comes and goes.
Which you would think they would.
Yeah. Good old Canada.
Yeah, good old Canada. We're
So-
very trusting neighbors.
Guess so.
Well, that's cool. Have you ever done a cruise ship before?
Yeah, this is my 4th one.
Oh my God.
I love cruising. My
Must be
family
nice.
loves cruising.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Must be
Hey,
nice.
Kiko,
Ask
you
Kiko.
came on one.
Ask me how many cruise ships I've been on.
How many cruises have you
0,
been on?
Kiko. How many have you been on?
2.
Get out of here, man.
This is a brand new ship we went on to, the Norwegian Bliss.
Oh, neat.
It's
Oh,
new
cool
this
for you.
Oh, the
season.
bliss.
The biggest ship Norwegian has. So now I've gone on
So far.
so far. So now I've gone on their smallest ship, and now their largest ship. The first cruise I went on was their smallest ship.
Do you want to?
Oh, you're special,
Now I've
man.
gone
for
on the
that?
largest ship.
Oh, you're special.
Did you see any whales?
Did
Saw
you
some humpback whales.
really?
Yeah, we went on a cruise. We went on a cruise, obviously.
Like a
Went
whale
on
watching?
watching.
Neat.
Heard you had a whale of a time.
Oh my God.
And
I don't.
yeah,
I don't
we
know. If,
saw-
my name's
we
Trey,
saw
and I
some-
don't affiliate with this show.
Some humpbacks. We didn't get to see any orcas though, unfortunately.
You didn't get a chance to free willy.
Why are you the way you are?
Okay, let's go back to the amount of cruises thing. So you haven't done any cruising,
No.
Trey,
Yeah,
but
never.
there was this one cruise Kiko went on with us.
Tell us about that.
So I'm wearing red shorts, right?
Yes.
Imagine,
Right now or in the trip?
well, right now,
Okay.
right? So just imagine a red color And then look
I could have
at
done that without the
Kiko.
red shorts.
No, I know, but since you're here, you can visualize it. All the viewers, they can imagine.
For those
red.
of you who forgot what red looks like.
But look at my color red.
Okay.
Now look at Kiko and imagine that red on him. He was
Odd,
a lobster.
Mm.
He couldn't move for days.
Kiko not so fresh.
No, Kiko was not feeling fresh for like 2 or 3 days.
Did you get 3rd degree?
I don't know what I got.
I got 3rd degree.
But I
You
Something.
like
got
fell
burned.
asleep out there, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, or something like that. I fell asleep on the beach and didn't have any sunscreen on. And, yeah,
Where?
on my back.
No. Where?
On my back. Where?
Where did we go is what he's asking.
On my back. No, where? On my back.
The Bahamas, man. The Bahamas.
Oh my god! And you're over here judging this guy for going on 4.
What do you mean judging him? I've only been on 2. He's been on 2 more than I have.
And you've been on 2 more than I have.
It's true.
Count your many blessings,
I
sir.
do.
The one he
Jeez.
came on with us too. We stayed in the Haven.
What's that?
That's the expensive area. So
Oh
you
my
have your own
God.
private butler and your own private pool.
You had a butler?
And you can eat
No.
out of the pool.
You didn't have a butler?
He didn't stay in the
stay in
Haven,
the
but he
Haven.
got to hang out with us. We snuck him
We
in.
were- yeah.
Okay, what you said was worse. He got to hang out
He
with
got to
us.
hang out. We
he
snuck
got
him
to
in.
he got to
So
be
he,
with the butler.
So he got the Haven experience for free, basically.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
So he was a smart one.
Was the butler cool?
Yeah, it was a chill dude.
What? What was his name?
Jeffrey.
Let's go. With
It's not
Jeffrey.
Fresh Prince, man.
All right, I'll go. We'll go with Jeeves. I don't remember his name.
Oh man.
Did you actually pull that from Fresh?
Yeah, dude.
Of course you did. Will Smith would be proud.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I've never been on a cruise. I was I've always kind of wanted to. I feel like I would get cabin fever a tiny bit. Like I feel like I would start to be kind of like, okay, this is a boat still.
So
I think the first
with-
night is rough.
Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah,
first
first-
night
Why?
can be tough.
Yeah, because you
It's
just
just
get
get used
used
to
to,
it.
that, like living on sea. Like I know the 2 times I've been on the ship, like the first night's always the roughest. So yeah,
The first one I ever went on though, that was the hardest. For one, it was an inside cabin, so there's no windows at all, and they're small. So depending how many people are in there, which in our case I think there was like 4 of us in there.
sounds like a
So
lot.
it's very, very tight, small space, no windows. And we hit rough seas. So it was a little bit of a storm.
Did you throw up?
I didn't, but I felt really gross for like 2 days. So I took some of the like the seasickness pills and stuff. Trying to
Yeah.
get it
Yeah.
out.
Dra-
The second
Dramamine?
cruise, I don't remember what it's called. But
That's true.
yeah, the second cruise, that's when we went into the Haven, with you. Was that the second cruise, or maybe the? No, that was the second. That was the second.
Was that my 9th cruise
So that
or
was
my?
the second cruise we stayed in the Haven, and that was my first taste of the balcony,
Mm.
and I was fine on that one. Like I didn't have any kind of issues.
Oh, it was breezy.
So the third cruise, I stayed with Gumbo and my brother. We talked about Gumbo before, I believe, yeah. And again, I was fine. I made sure I wanted like I needed the balcony kind of thing. And this one, I got the balcony also. My mom was trying to convince me to do the inside because it'd be a lot like $1,000 cheaper. But I was like, I need the balcony. I took the balcony. We all throughout Alaska, we left the door open like the whole time, so we can get that nice breeze in there. You get the sound of the ocean.
What's that
I
breeze
actually-
like? I missed that.
So when
been
but like
hot.
a nice ocean breeze
Uh-huh.
too, like get the nice the sound of the waves crashing against the ship and stuff like that,
That
as you're
sounds
trying
awesome.
to sleep. It was amazing, and I had to work. I made the schedule on the
Right,
cruise
right.
ship.
Did you get paid at least?
I did, yeah.
Oh my
So I
gosh,
went
yeah.
out on the balcony of
Yeah, this guy
my
had
room.
to work.
I went on the balcony of my room, looked out at the waves, and I made the schedule. It wasn't bad.
That's so beautiful, Tyler. Thank you for
Right?
sharing that just heartwarming story with all of us. And
So it's like
all
like
of our
it's
10
worth
viewers.
I'm
if
actually,
you-
I'm
so
actually
really,
glad that you told us. That sounds pretty awesome.
So
I was
really,
living
like, if
through
you go on a cruise,
vicariously.
I highly recommend paying for a balcony.
yes, balcony's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then
Get
you
up
have
and
your
see the
own
ocean.
private space too. So like it gets because so many people do the inside cabins. If you go out into the main area, it's so crowded. But if you do your own balcony, you can have that space to relax and it's kind of solitude. You just look out into the ocean.
How much is it?
Depends on the cruise ship
Mhm.
and what floor you're on and how many people are in the room with you. There's a lot of different variables to it.
That's pretty cool.
So
I'll go someday, I'm sure. So speaking about exorbitant amounts of money, did you import anything
Yeah, Tyler. Did
from
you
that there?
bring anything?
Not Canada, but
Alaska.
Alaska.
yes, actually I did.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, tell us, what did you buy from Alaska?
So, well, about a couple things.
Oh, a
Oh,
couple
a
things.
couple things.
Oh, a couple
I'm sure
things.
these are reasonably priced.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Tell us about it.
The prices are classified information, but
No, they're not.
It's enough that we're making these faces and making fun of them. Tell us more.
Yeah, tell us.
So I found this moose antler carving done out of a singular
What the hell was
moose
that?
antler. I don't know what that
He
is.
was just like, it's the most overacting I've ever seen.
Oh, man.
It's like he already knows this
Yeah.
story. I don't want to hear
This
it.
is the first time we've heard this. Continue.
Anyways.
Continue.
And it's just of these two eagles and like some fish and some trees and stuff, all done within this one piece of antler, and it's a very nice carving.
It
piece
is
of artwork.
It is quite beautiful.
It's very beautiful,
I would have priced it differently.
and it's going to be going on my shelf for me to look at every day.
At a silent
wait.
auction where you guess what the price is of the item, I would have lost. To give you an idea.
Well, that's because you're not familiar with this
Would
type
have lost
of
by
artwork.
pretty significant margin.
I was looking at a glass one at first, but I was like, this is.
Was it more?
That was actually cheaper.
Oh yeah, I guess because
Yeah,
glass
it's like
making
It
is a
was
little
$50.
easier. Whereas like
No, it's like $100 cheaper. And I was tempted on that one, but it didn't have the Alaskan kind of
Feel.
the feel to it.
Yeah.
Like it's just a glass thing I could buy from anywhere.
Right.
But like this is a moose antler.
kind of like the antler.
No. This is a moose antler from Alaska, and it was carved by an Alaskan artist, who like
Which you could have
no, it's
ordered
different,
online.
but it's different.
Probably.
Why would I order it online when I can buy it from them there?
Hey, whatever
When
floats
I
your boat.
know, like, because I got
The
all the
cruise ship.
information on the artist and everything. It's not like it was like an impulse decision. Like I went in there, I was looking around for stuff, and I
So
found
this is
that one.
premeditated, poorly made decision.
Not poorly. Not poorly.
Okay, you're right. I respect you.
The artist too. I looked at. I made sure before I bought it. I looked at who the artist was. Born and raised in Alaska, lived there, military service, this and that. So respectable artist. So bought from that guy.
Because if you're not military service, you're not a respectable artist.
No, but I respected him more because he had a military service.
Right. Because he is also military.
So I liked that more.
Mm.
So I didn't know that either way. I liked the piece, but once I saw he was military service, it's like I want.
That's
the
what
piece
sold
even
you.
more. It's it's eagles and it's military.
What's
service,
funny is you said
so-
that's what sold you,
Yeah.
but you said it with an accent, so it sounded like that's a soldier,
Oh, yeah.
which is funny because it
Yeah.
works both ways.
Accent is my accent.
Anyway,
But yeah, and then we bought a nice totem for our mother.
That's beautiful.
that is beautiful, man.
That's
That's
cool.
awesome. Good for you, dude.
Nice thing.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
What? Okay, let's talk about our trips.
Yeah, let's talk about our trip.
I can talk about my trips for a while.
Yeah,
We know
clearly.
you can. We know you can. Tell us about us your the other cruise ships sometime.
What about my backpacking trip?
Oh yeah,
that's right.
I'm actually very jealous of that one. We will talk about that someday.
yeah.
He went backpacking across Europe, which is the coolest thing in the world to me.
Must be
For,
nice.
3
Very.
months.
For 3 months, though?
3 months,
So
yeah.
for a week,
Yeah.
because I'm that good at transition. What is the best trip you've ever been?
Oh, so many trips.
Wait, have you ever been out of the country?
Yeah, I've been to Canada.
I literally just told you about the cruise we went on.
Yeah,
I didn't know you. Oh, the Bahamas, right?
been to the Bahamas. I said going down to the DR, Dominican Republic.
Oh,
It was pretty cool. My wife and I did that.
Despacito.
Despacito, hey. It's pretty
That's
awesome
Puerto
down
Rico,
there.
though.
That's
That's Puerto Rico.
that's Boricua.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Anyways, it's beautiful down there.
Yeah.
Just meeting all the people, the culture. Like it's I loved it.
Mm.
Great experience.
That's awesome.
What about you, Trey? Which somewhere you loved?
I think we've talked about this briefly, but I went to
excuse me.
Ukraine.
That's right. You went to Ukraine.
Yes, and
That's out of the country.
no, actually,
Wait, what?
yeah, it's in West Virginia.
Wait, what?
A lot of people don't know that. Anyway, so yeah, Ukraine. It's below Russia, and you made a dumb comment, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
Oh man, it's been a long day.
yep.
It's been a long day.
So yeah, I went to Ukraine. Made some lifelong friends there. One of which ended up marrying one of my best friends. Shout out to Katya. They have the cutest story ever, by the way, and I will tell it sometime. I'll tell it now.
I think
so,
you shared it already.
I don't know if I showed it on the show though.
Did he?
I remember you telling us.
I
don't
think you
remember if
did.
it was
Right, but we
showing.
hang out outside of the show.
I know.
We do.
It
I
makes
feel
it
like I
confusing.
Didn't.
We
I'll
just
just
can't
I'll do
hang out
like a
anymore.
revised version
Okay, yeah,
of it
do
real
a
quick.
revised.
So we went to Ukraine twice. The first year we went, and my buddy Sterling, hey Sterling, was
Sterling.
like our and it was just a very small comment, but he was like our interpreter, which I found is actually the audible version of a translator. If somebody's speaking the translation, it's not a translator, it's an interpreter. Translation is written. So you're translating the written word, you're interpreting the spoken word. Interesting. So he's like, our interpreter's pretty attractive, and I was like, yeah. I just remember that comment. And I remember I was actually more interested in learning Russian than he was. We both knew how to say like car and man and stuff like that, and hello, and all the basics.
Yeah.
And we went back the next year, literally a year later, and this man had learned Russian, like was proficient in it, like could speak it very well, and now they're married. Him and the interpreter. It's a really, I love that story. And now they have puppies, and they live in DC.
Puppies. I like puppies.
Mm.
I like doggies. I don't know.
The next question Kiko's thinking about asking is, did they learn Russian too?
The puppies?
The puppies.
No, they did not. They're, what's the, there's bilingual and trilingual. What's single-lingual? Single-lingual. That's fun.
You're asking the
Single,
wrong
single,
person.
single.
Single?
Ask Siri.
I don't know how to phrase that question. I have no idea how to word
Siri
that.
wouldn't even know how to
Yeah.
answer that.
You tell
call
us,
somebody
listeners.
that speaks one language.
Yeah, an American.
Got him.
Most of our listeners. Let's talk about places we've always wanted to go but have not yet. We'll start with Tyler. He's been everywhere. It's hard for him.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of places I'd like to go. So, like, one of the next big ones is Asia. So, what we're talking about.
Well, that's very big continent, though.
Yeah. So, but Asia in general, like specifically, probably China.
Okay.
'Cause I would love
Also,
to
a very
see,
big country.
Yeah, I would love to see like the Great Wall and stuff like that. China's been around for so long, and there's so much history there to see. So, I love. To
Isn't
go
it
to
the
China.
oldest, like basically empiric, like country in the world?
That I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it
but,
is.
It's definitely up there.
Yeah.
So but it's been around for a long time. So
I don't know if empiric is the right word.
I don't know either, but it's been around for so long, so much history there. I'd love to go there. So
The oldest civilized country is Egypt. Yep.
Huh.
I think.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I would like
We
to
should
go to
probably fact
Egypt,
check
too.
some things. I
Probably.
would love to go to Egypt,
Yeah.
actually.
I mean, we're looking at maybe doing an Asian cruise that would hit like Japan and like Vietnam and China. So like a lot of the big countries, which would be really cool. Which would be a 16-day cruise probably. So I don't know if it will happen. I highly doubt it will, but I really want that one to happen next.
Good Lord.
Yeah, me too.
That would be amazing. But not all,
that eye
not
roll
all of
again?
our family members are on board on it, so it probably won't
On
happen.
board the ship. A lot of nautical puns here today.
Yeah.
We're doing well.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know. But yeah, probably China, maybe Australia would also be kind of cool. Go
Good eye,
the
mate.
Steve Irwin Zoo, like that'd be cool.
There's a Steve Irwin Zoo?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a zoo.
he had a zoo.
Oh, he like
Zoo.
named it. Wait, what?
He had a zoo
He
in
ran
Australia.
a zoo.
I did not know he ran.
Yeah.
I didn't know he ran a zoo.
Yeah, he has a zoo.
Is it called the Steve Irwin Zoo?
I don't know what it's called, but yeah, he ran a zoo. Now,
His daughter.
when he died, his his children and
His
like,
wife and
took
his
it
daughter,
over.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would go to Alaska or
China?
Australia. I don't know if I would go to Alaska, China. I don't know if I would go to Australia because everything wants to kill you and it's very hot there.
There is that. You just go
To Sydney.
not during the summer.
I literally left Alabama because it was hot, and now here we are in like 90-degree Massachusetts weather, and
They still have colder
I've
months,
about
though.
had it, huh?
And no matter where you go, they have colder months. So you just have
Which
to-
is right now for them, right? Aren't their months switched? Like Christmas time is hot for them.
Is it?
Mhm.
I've got no idea.
I think so.
Yeah, because I know there's somebody who had family in Australia, and so they would go to visit for the holidays, and they were always like, "I just left like coldish weather, and now it's hot." So I'm pretty sure they're flipped. I would also like to go to Japan for the single reason of I've heard that
Kung Fu
Tokyo. I hate that movie. No, not at all.
What did you say?
Kung Fu Panda.
Oh,
Oh
It's a great movie.
no, Jack Black. I have opinions about Jack Black.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, my opinion is that in every movie he somehow says "giddly bap." Every single one. He does that dumb like scatting thing. I hate it. It's awful. And I'm tripping over my words. I'm so flustered. Somebody once said that I was like him and I wanted to die. And that's it. So anyway, no, because I've heard that Tokyo is a lot like it's the closest thing you'll ever get to being on another planet. Genuinely, because everybody it's very, very vibrant and eccentric there. It's like they dress very different, and it's like the culture is very interesting. And so I've always heard Tokyo is a really cool place to go, just for that reason, just to kind of walk around and see everything. So I'm definitely a people watcher too, and I think that would be fulfilled there.
A lot of people there to watch.
Scratch that itch, yeah.
You might get arrested for that.
People watching? No. But that's one, and then I've always wanted to go to England, specifically London. I want to take a trip to London. What? He's mouthing something to me, and I think it's making fun of you, but I don't know what it is yet.
He's from England.
No, I'm not.
Well, your last name's England.
I was saying I've been there.
Yeah, he's been to England.
Oh.
Yeah,
Was that what you've been mouthing this whole time? Every time we said something, you were going, I've been there.
Yeah. I've been there. Look at me. I'm so cool.
So anyway, I've always wanted to go there for numerous reasons, one of which is that I've been to a few different countries, and all of them were not English speaking. And so I thought it would be cool to have to go to a place where the culture is already different, but you also understand why it's different because everybody's speaking the same language. So you get to experience that different culture, and it's already, interpreted for you. So you get to kind of experience the full culture shock, which is something that's cool to me. Because at the end of the day, when I went to Ukraine, everybody was speaking Russian. So I was it felt almost detached from the culture shock. I wasn't really able to fully be this is different, It was I don't know, it's kind of strange to explain.
Were you more in the capital of Ukraine, or somewhere off the beaten path kind of thing?
So yes and no, kind of both. So for the main part that we were there for, we were teaching kids, and we went to Simferopol and Sevastopol, which is they're both kind of smallish areas in the Crimea, which is at the very bottom, next to the Black Sea. And then when we would leave, we flew into Kiev, which is the capital. When we would leave, we would go to Kiev, and we would sometimes go to Odessa, which is kind of Ukraine's Las Vegas. It's very happening town, It's fun. So kind of yes and no. But we were in Kiev and Odessa for probably a total of 2 days.
Now, was the more populated areas, was that easier as far as English goes?
Yes.
Okay.
Just for the fact that really any time you're in a metro area, you're going to have more kind of diversity, I guess, with that kind of thing. So you're going to have people who are more well-traveled, whereas the more rural you go, and this is anywhere, you're going to have the people who have been there for a long time. Yeah. And that's really,
Okay.
So
just seeing if that kind of matches up, because of the places that we went to that were not, primarily English, the more the bigger cities, we didn't really have an issue as far as English speaking.
It's very accommodating.
But there was areas of those even bigger cities where you did run into it here and there, but it was really the smaller places we went to where we ran into some issues. Yeah. And used Google Translate a lot.
Yeah. I use it at work all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I think those are probably... Tokyo is not really even in my top. It's just one of those that I would be interested in going to. But
I would love to go there too.
Yeah, so. England is definitely in my top one. That's where I'm going next. I've always wanted to go. I want to go this year at some point. Just take a trip, take off work for a week, and fly over.
You should.
Yeah,
remember, the cheaper flights where you don't check a bag. Really?
Yeah.
What?
Just remember that.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey.
Because the cheap airlines where you don't check a bag, it's cheap.
Listen.
And I don't care about cheap airlines because you're not getting the peanuts up there, so I don't care.
That's true.
Just take a nap and, shake around a bit more.
You gotta be careful in those cheap ones.
Why?
I mean, delays, you might not get your luggage.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you don't check a bag.
If you don't check a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're not in a hurry, then delays don't matter.
It's true. Yeah.
It saves you so much money in the long run.
It does. So. But I always I prefer to pay for quality. If you haven't known, but realized by now.
Yeah. 4 cruises? No, I don't know that. I don't know that about you.
Pay for quality.
I'm on a cruise and there's no windows.
I
But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, if given the means, yes, absolutely, I would love to
It does
not
save
fly.
you a lot of money.
Right, but it does, yeah.
Um,
Especially if it's just, I mean, I just want to kind of go and,
And then also, if you want to save even more money, do hostels.
yes.
So
The first time I ever came to
on
Boston,
plane.
actually, I stayed in hostels. Very cool experience. Meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah, sounds like a good
Some
time.
not so cool people, but
I did not, thankfully, have that experience, but I've heard. There's even a horror movie, I
when you
think.
go through 3 months,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I imagine.
you come across some.
Did you guys have like
stalwart
limits on yours?
limits?
Like you could only stay at one hostel for a certain amount of time?
Well, we never stayed at any too long,
Okay.
anyways. But they did have some limits for people like that. But yeah, we never stayed anywhere more than probably 4 or 5 days tops.
Okay, so you'd be over the limit here. So this might be an American thing, and this is just because like there are hotels here all over the place anyway. But
Yeah.
but within the very heart of Boston, you can get in a hostel, and it's wicked cheap. And then those have like a 2-day limit sometimes. Like
Oh,
you can't stay any longer than
that's
2 days.
low.
They're like get out. And also you can't stay in a hostel for like longer than like 7 days a year or something. So basically,
that's
so that you
weird.
can't just live there.
That's weird.
Yeah,
You'd have no issue.
Yeah.
In England, you could
I've-
probably find one.
yeah, right.
I'd definitely tell you don't go to the one we went to.
Okay.
The shower there, it trickled down from the shower head, hit the wall instantly, and trickled down against the wall. So in order to take a shower there, you had to cup it in your hands off the wall and splash it on your body. That place was terrible. That was the first one we went into, and we're like,
So you
"Is
just
this what
thought,
the whole
this
trip
is
gonna
Europe."
be?" Like, what is this?
Sounds like a great time.
Luckily, that was the worst one, and it was the first one.
Yeah.
So you got
but-
it over with quickly.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yikes. Not a good first impression though.
No,
No.
it's not.
Woof. That's cool. What about you? Place you've always wanted to go, but haven't been
There's
to.
a lot of places. I would say Hawaii,
Nice. Good
Oh,
choice.
Hawaii.
Good choice.
That'd be nice.
Alaska. Mostly, he just.
I actually would love to go to Alaska.
I did kind of invite you to the last one there, Kiko.
Why didn't you invite me?
It was before we really talked.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
And can I finish my story, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
And
He has waited patiently.
thank you. Probably Dubai. I want to go to Dubai.
Interesting. Why?
I mean, because I am Muslim and it's a big Muslim country and like a lot of Saudi Arabian princes over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Got that Saudi money.
You wouldn't come back.
Maybe. Why would I come back? I gotta go to Mecca though one day too.
Yeah.
In Saudi Arabia, so one day,
Cool.
inshallah, I'll get there.
Do you guys? Is there like a pilgrimage type thing?
Yeah, every Muslim has to go there at least once in their
Really?
lifetime. Hmm.
I didn't know that. Is that the wall?
It's Mecca, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the Kaaba.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, one
Shows
time.
how little I know.
No, it's pretty good. So yeah, one time, hopefully I'll get that chance, inshallah, to go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, go to Saudi Arabia.
Bring me with you because I'm actually your friend.
I will, maybe.
You can bring him too.
Don't forget about me. I would love to go to Dubai also, though.
Yeah, I really want to see every continent at least.
Yeah.
I would love to see every country, but I don't think I could do that in my lifetime.
It's beautiful
There's
to
too
travel.
many of them.
It's beautiful.
It really is. I love it.
Just to
I
meet
just,
the people, new cultures. Just you learn so much. That's the one thing I love about traveling.
yeah, just like broadening your horizons, seeing different perspectives, which is kind of the whole point of the show. Really, is getting that kind of different perspective from people.
How other people live and stuff.
I will say one of the scariest moments of my life is the first time I've ever left the country ever. So I'm on the plane, and we've flown to I think Atlanta airport. Where did we fly? We flew. Oh well, no, we drove to Atlanta and flew from Atlanta because we lived right next to Atlanta, and flew to Minneapolis. And I think that was the first time I've really seen like blizzard weather, and it was terrifying. I just saw it outside the window because it was very, very short layover. And so I was like running to my next plane. I was looking out the window going, what's happening? And so like we get on the plane and it's Ukraine Air. So because they just put you on one for overseas, right?
Yeah.
And so I get on it. And so all the flight attendants speak Russian. And strangely enough, no English at all.
Oh, wow.
It was interesting. There was like one or two that did speak English in case of emergencies, I guess, but
Yeah.
like most of them didn't. And the scariest thing ever was and I've flown a lot since then. Okay, so no, I had not flown very much at the time. And so I wasn't expected to know this, but your tray should be up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. And this is a very simple request. And she comes up to me and she's basically saying, put your tray up in Russian. But I didn't know what she was saying. And it's the most horrified I've ever felt in my life because it was like the first person who didn't speak English in that environment, like where it was like, where I truly was the minority.
Yeah.
And it was a very eye-opening experience, really. And so, like, I felt scared. I was just like, I don't know what you're saying to me. And like, I didn't know what to do. I froze, and she was very sweet, and she was just like, "Put your tray up," but she was saying it in Russian,
Right, yeah,
and I was like, I don't know. She finally like reached over and did it for me, and I was just like, oh. And Sterling was like in the aisle over, and he's looking at me going, because I felt dumb. So anyway, so that was my first like kind of introduction to being in a different country.
It's interesting.
It was very fun.
It is eye opening when you're on the other end like that.
Mm. Really kind of makes you look at it from a different way. So I'm glad I did it. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I love it. I love traveling. We should all take a trip. We should all take a trip. You come with us, all of you listeners.
Yeah.
Because if we have just few enough of you that I think we could probably manage it.
Yeah, we could probably manage it.
Just the 40 of us.
Yeah.
God, that's probably generous.
Yeah, it is.
So
but we love you guys.
we do.
We
appreciate
really
everything, honestly. And we hope that our consistency has been, good. And, again, we set out to be reliable, and we would kind of find our voice in the meantime. But reliability and consistency was our
main goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think we've done that, really. I mean, you just went on a 3-week trip, basically, and we released 3 episodes without being here.
Yeah.
It felt weird. I missed
did.
you guys a lot. This has been a lonely 3 weeks.
It has been.
It has been.
But
and
the
now
boys
I have a
back.
beard now. Also, my mom joked about us changing clothes in the 3 episodes. She was like, she thought I was just layering because I started off with the undershirt, and then she thought I was just going to keep putting on clothes until I was just like, so we're here on a different day of no answers yet.
Missed opportunity.
I know, we should have done that.
That's funny.
So we'll try and do that again next time somebody goes on a trip.
Should probably change Terry's clothes too.
Yeah, we'll do
We'll do that. Yeah, we'll get him a little hat that actually fits him.
We will.
Unlike the
Celtics hat?
snapback he had. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. That's what you can do,
So, does anybody have anything else they want to say? We hit 30 minutes, which I think is our kind of like
Yeah.
top zone, really, without going into a 2-parter.
Yeah.
So, song of the week is going to be "Peach" by Broods. It's a song that came out about it might have come out 3 weeks ago. I don't remember. It's been a minute, but I wanted it to be song of the week, and I was like, I'm gonna make sure it is. So, "Peach" by Broods just came out this week,
Peaches.
basically. All right. Any outro? Got anything to say other than peaches? Tell us your feeling about peaches and other fruits.
Peaches are delicious, especially like peach cobbler. Oh man, that's good. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. I'm good, yo.
All right, English. What about you?
It just makes me think back onto the cruise we went on. So,
Oh my god, yo.
just real quick, about food. He would. It's like unlimited. You want and whatever you want. You can't decide. So they get what. So, anyways, the waiter would come by. Here's another plate. Here's another plate. Here's another plate. You probably had 10 plates or something one night.
Nah, I think it's like 3 or 4
You,
plates.
Gumbo, and Derek, he just kept giving you more and more. And he would walk by, saw their plate was empty. He would just give them another one.
I like steak. I like some nice fish. I like some nice
And this
chicken.
is free?
Yeah, because you pay.
it's all
It's not
included.
free. You pay a crap ton to
It's
go on
all
ship.
you can eat on the ship.
But yeah, it's all you
There's
can
a few restaurants you have to pay for, but it's
Yeah.
all you can eat because it's already included in your price.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so I gained 3 pounds on this cruise. I weighed myself. Yeah.
Congratulations.
3 pounds isn't too bad for all you can eat, Anyways, but let's wrap this
Excuse
up.
me.
Oh my god.
You need to go on a cruise. Just go on a cruise.
One time we'll do it.
Okay.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys for joining us on another episode of No Answers Yet. Trey's in shock right now. So yeah. God bless. Take care. Be safe. Till next week. Stay classy, people.
I stole his thing.
Yeah, you did.
I did the thing that he usually
you
does.
did. We out.